Welcome back for looks to be our last player for campaign 2. It is Natsu. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his character's name because it's one of those. So let's get into this prologue of Natsu's character. If you want to tell us a little bit about him or her, or whatever it is you got there.
Well, Natsu's
Hang
character is a
on.
character.
Yep, you're good. Your mic's up.
Well, Natsu's character is a character, as you said, and he's kind of a dragon, kind of humanoid. Some call them dragonborn. His name is Ialdris, and he's a fighter. He's also a pirate. So imagine a pirate fighter, but not a dueler or like let's use the most dexterous swords ever. No, he wields a great sword. And he doesn't have he's a one man crew. His
Right.
ship isn't a ship, it's a boat. think
Well,
think about Captain Jack the first time you see him in the series, sailing the sinking boat into the port. But this one doesn't sink. At least I don't think it does. Sir Black will have fun with however whatever he does, but we'll find out.
yeah.
Um, he's on a journey to avenge his revenge, like seek revenge on his family, who was killed by a um, high elf king named Silmanor. And the only way to, anyways, Silmanor, English king, killed his family and then enslaved his lover, whose name is Ialdris. Well, Ialdris is also the name of his ship, of Ildris's ship. So I'm on the journey to kill Silmanor, and on that journey, I also have to find the legendary Vorpal sword because it's the only way to kill Silmanor. So currently, I'm on the trek to just look for clues about this legendary Vorpal greatsword.
Alrighty. As you come into Undar, your ship starts to shake a little bit, rattle a little bit. You hear loud clanging as you descend the skies down into Undar. You notice that your stabilizers have malfunctioned and you're falling faster than you really want to. And as you make contact with the ground, kind of shakes you up a little bit, and pieces of your boat or ship fall off and hit the ground with a loud thud.
Can't believe this is happening to me again. Shouldn't have trusted that no good elf when he inscribed these ruins and whatnot to try to get my boat to do what it's supposed to. Well, so I'm outside of Under at this point.
Yeah, you're just to the northeast in just an open grass field. You're maybe 2 minutes from the edge of town.
Well, seeing I'm this close, I mean, I at least made it this close to the first clue. Let's go ahead and guess I better get in there and start asking around.
Okay?
So he'll just goes ahead and just kind of kicks a piece of a ship, ungrateful piece of whatever, and then he turns around and heads into Under.
Okay. As you come into Under, you gotta walk through a couple of alleyways between houses, and after just a few minutes of doing that, you come into a town square. In not the center, but the upper center portion. There's a plaque sitting there. In the town, you do see uh carts, hovering carts, loaded with all kinds of local produce and fish and all kinds of other stuff. You see your average person walking around, nothing really stands out too much. You do see a garage that says on the front, ship repair.
I guess we should have went through this before hand. How much gold do I have?
Right now, given you have a ship, um, let's say 232 gold.
232. Got it. Well, seeing as how he doesn't currently have a working ship, he goes ahead and approaches the ship repair.
Okay.
Looks inside to see if there's anyone that he can see.
You do see a dwarf currently hammering away at this real shiny, just it's almost egg shaped with a nose that's real pointy. It's it's black and it's got some uh blue runic pinstripings all around it, and the ramp is currently down, steps going into the ship, and he's just under it, smacking away at one of the pistons.
How big is the ship that I'm looking at right now?
The ship that you are looking at right now, it's just a touch smaller than like a Millennium Falcon, I want to say.
Okay. So would it be about the same size as the keelboat that I just fell from the sky with?
The keel boat is a little bigger.
Okay. Can I tell how many people this one could seat?
From the looks of it, you can guess this thing might be able to seat like maybe 9.
I speak up. Excuse me, Mr. Dwarf.
He
Could
pops up, hits his head on the ramp, like, yes, sir,
so you repair uh ships?
I
Like
do.
spaceship?
Yes, that's what this is.
Could you my ship fell out of the sky just outside of under like
Is
2 minutes
that what
outside.
that loud crash was?
Yeah. I was wondering if you could take a look at it for me.
After I get this gentleman's ship done, I'll be sure to get on that. Where's it at?
Uh 2 minutes northeast of town.
Okay, so just in that grass field over there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and what's your name?
Uh Ialdris.
Ialdris. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm Bambi. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Bambi. The guy who you're working on the ship for, his name.
Oh, I can't give that up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Well,
it's
it was
kind of
worth
a
asking.
confidential client.
It was worth asking.
Yeah. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Um, Not really. When would be a good time for me to come back to ask you about quotes?
Uh, first thing in the morning.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay, not a problem. So, what would you like to do now?
I go ahead and start looking for anything that would look like it might be a clue to the um, whereabouts of the Vorpal greatsword.
Give me an investigation check, please. And for this, you may use your personal dice.
One.
Oh, a natural one?
Yeah.
Oh, man. So, you're looking around for anything that might lead you to where you can possibly find this very specific sword in this very random town. You're hungry.
Man, just kind of these are my thoughts right now. Just
Yeah.
really hungry right now. Better find somewhere to eat so I can quench this. I can't focus at all, man. So I begin looking for a food place.
Give me an investigation check.
Wrong roll. That's the right roll. 6.
6. After quite some time and your stomach really talking to you now, you do find a restaurant slash inn, and on the sign it has a picture of a tuna and a picture of a crab, and you're pretty confident that you can get some tuna and crab in this place.
Um, I go ahead and take some tuna.
You just take some tuna.
Yeah, you said that it's somewhere that I could get some. You didn't say it's somewhere that I could pay for some.
Well,
So that's what Ildris
it's
thinks.
it's a
He thinks he can
restaurant.
just take it.
It's a restaurant. That's what I said.
Does Ildris see that it's obviously a
Yes.
restaurant? Okay.
Yes.
Is it like a all you can eat buffet style where you pay after you eat, or is it
No.
one that you
Nope. You gotta be seated, sit, typical inn.
Okay, so I go ahead and go up to the hostess table,
Mm-hmm.
ask for a table for one.
Say, yeah, certainly. There's a seat right up there at the bar.
So I go ahead and go over to the bar
Okay.
and sit down and
When
order some.
when you get up to the bar, you notice the bartender is not quite like anything you've seen before. This bartender has from the neck up is like a snake, almost like a cobra for a head.
I kind of look at him and go, "So you're part serpent too?"
Turns around and says, "Why, yes, I am."
Excuse me for a second. There we go. Uh, could I get some tuna?
What kind of tuna would you like?
The freshly caught kind.
Okay, I have tuna bathed in mangoes. I have tuna bathed in strawberries. Tuna bathed in just water for some reason. I also have
Do you,
fried tuna, smoked tuna, tuna jerky, filleted
do you
tuna, tuna tacos, tuna
do you
burritos.
do you happen to have any bathed in like deer blood,
I do
venison
not.
juice?
No.
Yeah, I'll go with some smoked tuna.
Smoked
Smoked
tuna.
on, yeah, smoked on maple.
Okay, do you want the smoked tuna jerky, the smoked tuna fillet, the smoked tuna nuggets, the smoked tuna strips?
Could I just have like a smoked tuna fillet, like the whole fillet?
Okay, do you want that with greens? Do you want it with potatoes? Do you want it with crab? Do you want it with what do you want it with? I have fruit, I have salad.
Uh, no sides, please.
No sides?
No sides.
Okay. Goes back into the back. This is going to be a while. What do you want to do? Hey, Dave. I don't know, man. It may not be.
I uh, I look around, just
At,
kind of taking
at
in the scenery.
at this particular time, it is an empty restaurant. You seem to be the only patron here. It is a very nautical and space themed. The floor is actually water, and you walked across water. And the ceiling and walls is like an outer space kind of feel with planets hovering here and there.
I look to see if there's any random clues in here.
Roll an investigation check.
20,
20, dirty 20?
dirty 20, yep.
All right. As you look around, nothing really catches your attention for a while. And then you see this, like, piece of parchment that's embedded into the countertop and it's a picture of this sword, and in writing you can't read, but there's something
I go,
very familiar about the sword.
I go ahead and walk up to where it is and pull it out and
It's
look at it closer.
You can look at it from your seat where you're at right now. It's like pretty much right underneath you.
Oh, okay. So I go ahead and grab it and,
You can't, it's embedded into it. It's like
oh,
almost like a clear resin over the top of it, but it looks really old.
okay. I pull out a piece of paper
hmm
and do my best to transcribe it.
Okay, give me a performance check.
6.
Oh man, you do your best to transcribe it, and you believe it might be close enough.
On what would you say percentage wise that it actually got translate or transcribed?
15%.
Okay, that's for my notes. Thank you. Um, as I'm looking at it, is there anything that I can tell of it other than it looks vaguely familiar?
It Roll a history check for me.
15.
It looks kind of similar to the sword you're looking for.
Can I tell what language it's in?
No. Oh. It it almost looks Elvish, but it's got a different. The closest thing that you can kind of compare it to would be Elvish, but it's not Elvish.
Okay, so do I know what the race of the guy who is my server
No,
is?
you've never seen something like this before.
And there's
And
no one else in the room, right?
no, just about this time, the server brings out a plate with your fish on it and some vegetables and some like a couple of dinner rolls and a side of mashed potatoes with nothing on it. It's just mashed potatoes.
Thank you greatly, sir.
Yes,
Can I ask
sir.
you something? Can I ask you something real quick?
As long as it's real quick, go ahead.
Underneath the um, table here, it looks, or the bar here, it looks like you got kind of a some sort of something inscribed into your bar. Do you know what that's for?
Oh, you talking about that piece of paper with that sword drawn on it?
Yeah.
What's your question?
Do you happen to know what this note on it says?
I have no idea.
Do you have any inkling as to what it's for or the
It's
language itself?
I've never seen that language before, ever, no.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir. Would you like some a beverage to go with your meal there?
Yes, water, please.
Okay. Goes back, brings you a cup of water.
Thank you. I go ahead and start eating it, just thinking about any possibility, searching the depths of my mind for any clue that might help me understand the uh, this note better.
You have no idea what this note says. You have an idea that it's about the sword that's on the paper.
So I go ahead and just knowing that I have a very poor penmanship, I go ahead and call the snake guy back over. Hey, waiter,
Yes.
can you tell me if the transcription that I tried to make of this note, can you tell me how accurate you think it is?
He holds your note and holds it next to it and looks. He's like, sure, and hands it back to you.
Thank you, sir.
I don't have the greatest eyesight as I am a snake, so I don't know how good that would have been, but okay.
And I go, don't you have excellent taste? Can't you like feel your tongue across it and like a
So you want me to lick a piece of paper that came out of wherever you got it, and no, I'm good.
okay, well, thank you.
Yeah, enjoy your meal.
Thanks. So I go ahead and start eating my meal and just pondering still. Even like I've thought about it like probably 6 times by this point. I'm still trying to figure out just if I happen to see anything. Probably coming up with nothing, but just having a glimmer of hope since this is the first clue I found on it.
Still, nothing really comes to mind.
So I go ahead and finish up my meal and
Hmm.
start heading back outside.
Okay, where are you going now?
start looking at that might look like someone who looks like they might have knowledge about just random things. Like, is there a librarian nearby? Like a library?
Not in this small town. No, you don't find a library.
Is there a church?
You don't really see a church either. What you do see in this small town is a bar, a repair station, a security station, and a bunch of people walking around in suits of armor of black and red runic pinstriping through their armor. Sorry, gold, not red, gold.
Would I recognize this armor or the pinstriping as anything?
Yes, you know exactly who this is. This is the Malum in this town.
I go ahead and head over to the bar.
You walk back into the bar or
Oh,
restaurant. It's the
wait, I
same
was gonna.
same building.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Okay.
Um, what time is it?
Roughly about 1 in the afternoonish.
I go ahead and approach one of the guys in armor.
Okay.
What is their group like? What is their group known for? What is their goal? If I would know any of that.
You know these people to be ruthless and murderers, and they will stop in at any unsuspecting village and murder the population.
Oh,
That's
so
what
they're
you
more
know about
likely.
them.
Okay, so with my understanding, they're probably actually here to just straight up kill everyone.
Maybe. You've heard rumors about them, and you've seen them around being not the friendliest to people.
Okay, I go ahead and approach one and just kind of try to act as though I'm one of their allies.
Halt right there, and they aim their pistols at you.
And I
Why
put my
why do you
hands up and
approach the guard?
go, "Whoa, don't you know I'm one of your allies?
And who are you?
My name is Ialdris. Do I know anything about where their main base is?
No, you don't.
Do I know anything about like a person of importance in their command?
Not really. You've just seen them around. You haven't really interacted with these people.
Um, I have important business with your command.
What is your business?
It has to do with the location of the Vorpal sword, the Vorpal greatsword.
We don't know anything of that. And they kind of push
And
you away and start walking away.
they go, well, that's why he needs to talk with me because I have a hint about it.
They just keep walking away.
I just kind of sigh and go, man, what kind of pirate am I? I
I
can't
told you
even.
these guys are not the friendliest of people.
Yeah, I just kind of go, man, what kind of pirate am I? Can't even. Well, I go back out to my ship.
Okay. You make your way back out to where you landed your ship, and your ship is not there.
I sigh and head to the ship repair, to back to Bambi, and just see if I can see my ship at all in there.
Your ship is now in the garage, and the ship that was there is now gone.
In my thoughts again.
Say what?
Man, I sure wanna. In my thoughts.
Oh, okay.
So I'm thinking now. Man, Do I go ask him? He seemed like a pretty nice dwarf, but definitely don't want to distract him too much. Better just keep with what he said and ask him in the morning. So I go ahead and head back. Try to see if there's any like quest board or anything.
Quest board? Not really. You see a couple of things of the town needing lumber, someone to haul wood from the fields to the lumber mill, and that pays 5 silver a log, and just a couple of things for, if you catch a tuna, they'll give you like 50 silver each, depending on the quality of the fish.
I go ahead and uh, track down the hauling lumber for the rest of like trying to do that for the rest of the day while I'm here.
Okay, do me a favor, roll a d12 for me.
2.
2?
Yeah.
You manage to haul 2 logs from the tree cutters to the lumber mill for the remainder of the day.
So 2 silver.
Though I said
Right?
5 silver apiece, didn't I?
Oh, okay. I thought you
Yeah.
said 2,
So you got,
but 10.
I said 2 logs so you got 10 silver.
Yeah, cool.
Yep.
Uh, and it's the end of the day now. Is there an
Yeah.
inn?
Yes, it's the same building the restaurant and bar is in.
I go ahead and head in and ask him what the one night price is for the inn part.
It depends on what room you're looking for. What kind of room do you want?
Anything with a bed, honestly.
All my rooms have beds. I
The
have
cheapest.
the cheapest. I mean, maybe 10 silver. We'll we'll pay you up for the night.
So I go ahead and pay for that, and
Okay. He hands you a key to the door, and he directs you up the stairs, down the hall, turn right down the very next hall, make a left down the hall after that, pass a hall, pass a four-way hall, turn right down another hall, and it's 6 doors down, turn left, and there's your door.
I go, uh-huh, and then start on my way.
All right. Now, do you remember what he said?
I think I thought you were gonna have me roll for it. You're actually having me
Yeah,
remember it.
roll a d20.
Does a 14 make it to the room?
Yes, after about an hour of getting lost and trying to figure out, you're trying to remember exactly what he said, but you do
Hallelujah, I
manage to
made
make
it to
it
the
to the
room.
room. Yep.
Because I wasted another hour, I go ahead and just go to sleep.
Alrighty. You end up falling asleep to absolute dead silence. It's so quiet that it's unnerving, but you do manage to get a good night's sleep.
When I wake up, I try to find my way back downstairs.
You do manage to make it downstairs with no issues. Because after being lost for an hour, you memorized every square inch of this building.
I go back to the little like carving in the wood underneath
Okay.
the bar and contemplate on it a little bit more and just look and compare it to my note and do I see any different or does it still look like it's perfectly transcribed?
It and no, it looks passable.
Okay.
Not
So I go
perfectly
ahead and
transcribed, but as good as you think you could have done.
okay. So I go ahead and head back outside,
Okay.
uh, head over to the ship repair guy, head back
Okay.
over to Bambi.
On your way back, you do notice something a little odd. You you've heard about these and you have seen a couple here and there, whether you're up really late or up really early. You see these sexy mermaids just bolt into the different houses around, about four of
I kind of just think to myself, this is where they've been hiding.
them.
Huh.
And you make your way
Just
down to the ship repair and you see the dwarf standing there scratching his head with his head kind of sideways looking at your ship.
I think to myself, that's not a good sign. And I continue walking over there and go, "Hey, Bambi, good morning. How you doing?"
I'm doing pretty good. I think I fixed your ship. I think this thing is ancient.
Yeah,
What even kind of metal is this?
if I remember correctly, the guy I bought it from, I think he said it's Damascus steel.
That's a really old steel. Wow. But anyway,
The
I think it's fixed.
what's the repair on it
80
cost?
83 gold, 21 silver. Yeah, that's a good price.
And you're pretty like you're 90% certain that you fixed it.
He looks at you and he just looks pissed. Like he's mad. Yeah, she's fixed.
How much did it like? Was it hard to fix?
No, it was easy. It was the easiest thing to fix in the world. That's why I'm charging you 83 gold.
I kind of,
You just insulted a dwarf.
I just kind of go, I'm sorry. Just the last guy had repair it. Obviously didn't get it repaired right. Otherwise
Let
I
me
would have
guess,
crashed
the
it.
last guy was an elf.
How'd you know?
'Cause that's the shoddy work that they do.
Well, anyways,
Elves are
I
only good for looking at.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I greatly appreciate this.
You got my money? And he holds out his hand.
And I don't tell him. I'm sure he's gonna count it, but I go ahead and give him 85 instead.
He takes it and jiggles it in his hand and like tosses it up and grabs it. And he's like, "Oh, thank you for the tip," and puts it in his pocket.
And I go, thank you for fixing it on an overnight basis. I
Yeah.
honestly was pretty surprised that you were willing to do that, much less like I mean, dwarves are very capable, but I knew it's an older ship and was just yeah.
Hey, you can come
I'm
back
pleased.
anytime. Anytime. Is there anything else we can help you with or I can help you with? What brought you to Undar? Or did you just fall out of the sky?
I just happened to fall out of the sky, honestly. I'm
Oh.
looking I'm looking for any clues as to the whereabouts about the Vorpal Greatsword.
He stops you mid sentence and pulls you into your ship. Says, "You can't speak of that around here
I whisper, "Why not?"
because it's under the control of the Malum. And if they hear you even talk about it, they will cut your head off."
Wait, so the guys outside with the gold?
Yeah, the black with the gold, yes. That's the Malum. Those ones don't have it. I have a suspicion that they're keeping it in their underground base.
Where's that at?
From what I understand, it's in Civitas Lucis, and apparently it's under the Manchester, from what I understand, which is crazy because the Manchester's in the Lux control.
Manchester is what?
Under the control of the Lux. Do you not know who the Lux are?
I do not.
The Lux are who is fighting the evil Malum.
And they're under
Yeah,
the Manchester.
from what my sources tell me, they're secretly underneath the Manchester.
I am very obviously pondering things. I'm thinking like just how to get anywhere near there. And I go, "Do you know anything about the Lux?" I
All
say
I
that to
know
Bambi.
is they're a very powerful uh, militia group, I guess. They're very powerful. If you want to talk with them, I know they are recruiting.
Where can I go to talk with one of them?
The Manchester.
All right, it looks like I'm heading to Civitas Lucius today.
Okay, well, enjoy your trip. That's with your ship. You're looking at like a day's trip.
Yeah, I can handle it.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna pull your ship out of my garage so you don't mess up my amazing garage. And as you look around, his garage is thrashed. And he
Let's go.
pulls your ship out.
I go, "Thank you very much, Bambi. If I'm ever
Yeah,
in the area again, I'll be sure to take you over to the inn to buy you something to eat."
I don't eat the garbage they serve over there. He says,
I
enjoy
just,
your travels.
"Thanks." So I go ahead and hop on it and start heading towards Civitas Lucius.
Okay. As you take off, your ship takes off almost perfectly and starts gliding through the air better than it has ever glided through the air before.
I, as I'm gliding, I'm like, "Man, I really need to remember Bambi next time I'm even in this area."
Yeah. So, over the next day, what are you doing?
Keeping a watchful eye out for any ships that might look smaller than mine, any ships that might look like they're following me, any ships that might look like they're aggressive.
You do see one. As you get close to Drarium, you see one take off and start heading the direction you're heading. So they're in front of you, heading to the same direction.
I go ahead and keep my course and just kind of keep a watchful eye to see if they're gonna try throwing anything or doing anything towards my ship.
No, it just takes off and You lose it. It is much faster than you are, and it disappears from your sight as the day
Yeah.
is coming to a close for you.
I go ahead and just kind of shrug my shoulders and go, must not be a problem.
Okay. As you come close to Civitas Lucis, you notice it coming up in the distance, and you see the ship that took off the day before just lift up and just start doing slow circles around this building. And this building is the Manchester. You see a sign projected into the sky.
I look for anything that looks like a dock around the Manchester.
At the moment, you do not. You hear a frequency, or you hear a voice come into your head. This is the Lux of Civitas Lucis. State your business.
I'm actually here to join you guys. I heard that you guys are recruiting, and I'm actually quite interested in becoming one of your soldiers.
What's your name?
Oh, Ialdris, but you can call me Ildris if that's easier.
And what in the world are you flying?
I'm flying more of an ancient spaceship.
I have never seen one of those. Yeah, we'll have a landing pad for you at the Manchester. Make your way in the in a southerly approach. And
So I,
as you make your way, you see the top of the Manchester open up and this pad come up, rising up out of the building with lights and everything, almost like a runway for you.
I start to kind of make a arc towards the north so I can approach
Yep.
in the south direction and start coming in for a landing, hoping
Okay.
that as I start powering down the motors that they can keep up as much as they need to and not break down.
You land on the landing pad without issue perfectly. No issues. Everything's working as it should.
Man, I really need to keep that Bambi in my mind next time I'm over there.
So, as you land and exit your ship, you notice this elf standing there in just pure white, like a pearl white with very, like, even whiter pinstriping through her cloak, holding a crossbow with no crossbow bolt by her side. She says, and you notice she is the most beautiful elf you have ever seen. And she says, right this way down the steps.
I asked her, am I to follow you?
No, just walk down the steps and go into the building.
And I'm not sure that, I mean, it might take me a couple hours to get that right. Man, I couldn't find my room in an inn the other night, and so I might need you
Oh,
to lead the way for me.
just walk down these steps right here and go through the door at the bottom. That's it. Just go. Go on. Shoo.
I heads towards the steps,
As
thinking,
you
man, too bad she didn't. Too bad I couldn't coax her into walking in front of me. That'd be
yeah,
quite the
yeah.
view.
You get the feeling that she probably knew what you were trying to do. But You do notice she is standing her post still at the top of the landing pad. As you get
Head
down,
down the stairs,
yeah.
trying confidently to not trip down the stairs.
Roll a performance check.
19.
All right, now roll an acrobatics check.
9.
You stumble slightly, but you catch your balance really quick, almost instantaneously, as you walk down the steps and go through the door. Uh, yeah,
I just kind
Dave.
of
Yeah.
I just kind of think, man, I messed that up. Chances with her are all sorts of messed up now. I just continue on my way.
As you get through the door, you do notice that there's these people are just getting up off the floor, and you see this other person follow this black cloak, not black, it's like camouflaged cloaked figure through a door and down a hall out of sight.
I just kind of wonder to myself, what? Why were they laying down?
And
Was something dirty happening here?
they all pick up their weapons and aim it at you and start to charge. What are you doing?
I pull out my good old trusty greatsword
Okay.
and yell, "Stop, or I will fight."
At that very second, you see through the air this crossbow bolt and it hits you right in the shoulder and embeds itself. Roll a d6 for me.
5.
You take 5 points of piercing damage. What are you doing?
I go ahead and do. Can I tell where the cross? No, the crossbow came from one of the guys in front of me, right?
Yes.
I go ahead and begin running towards them with my great sword.
Okay. Are you going to attack or what? What are you doing?
Yeah,
Okay, I need you to we're going to do this a little different. I need you to make an attack roll. Do that 4 times in a row for me.
dang it, where'd the first one go? Apparently, it only shows me the last 3 rolls. Dang it. Well, I have a 25, 21, a 20, and a 21.
Okay. Um now roll a D100 for me.
53.
As you swing your great axe
Great
and
sword.
say well, your great sword, you swing your great sword through, making contact with all 4 of these people, cutting the first one completely in half, and the second one gouging their right shoulder, severing it from their body. They fall limp to the ground, and so on and so forth. They're all 4, and they all just fall done.
I just kind of, in my head, I told you I'd fight. Didn't think I'd win, but here we are.
Mhm. Someone walks up to you, taps you on the shoulder, and says, "Good job. Welcome to the Lux."
Just kind of go, oh, this was a test, huh?
And they snap their fingers, and the people that you have just slain get right back up, and it's like nothing even happened. They say, "We are the Lux. We fight for all that's good in the world. I heard you wanted to join our ranks. You have proved yourself. Do you still wish to join?"
Yes, please.
Okay. Snaps their fingers. You now have this crimson blue or sapphire blue cloak on with real bright fluorescent pinstriping running through the cloak. Your great sword now becomes very vibrant and blue. The blade to the heel, everything about it is now blue with that same pinstriping running through it. And he says, "Go on upstairs, take a right. It'll be your second door or first door on the left. That is your new room. Welcome to the Lux. You are now PFC."
I go ahead and say, thank you, sir. Um, who do I report to?
Just go up to your room and we will speak with you in the morning.
So I go ahead and head up to my room.
Okay. As you go up to your room, the doors in front of you dematerialize, just turn into nothing as you walk through, and it reappears behind you. This room changes to what you are subconsciously wanting your room to look like and all that. So it's up to you.
It looks like there are images of Ildis everywhere.
Okay?
Appropriate. Like, just kind of all of the um, innocence and, like, just her. Sorry, I'm not able to think of the right word. Like, her purity. Like, seeing her, like, in purity and innocent and
Yes.
just
All
kind of
right.
that visual, like, everything that I would see with her. So, like, any of the dresses that she's worn, anything that would make me feel more just like she's here, but without her actually being here.
Yeah. Okay. Now, with that, this will end Natsu's prologue on what is your character's name?
Ialdris.
Ialdris. So, in the next couple of weeks, we will be starting up campaign 2 with Red, Mild, RTB Dave, and Natsu. Natsu, how are you feeling about campaign 2?
I'm feeling pretty good. The reason why uh, Ialdris is kind of familiar with, I mean, seeming to be familiar with all of this, is being a pirate, he at one point had a mentor who was actually like a pretty good pirate and had a pretty good ship. So a lot of the stuff that just like vanishes and whatnot, or like modern day stuff, he's used to seeing modern day tech. It's just he had to leave his previous uh, crew because hearing that his family was slaughtered and his girl was taken.
Yeah.
So,
Right
but
on.
no, I'm excited. I'm excited for it. Uh, happy with the like very pleased with the way that you tied us all together and got us all into the same spot. And
Yep, yep. Well, hopefully everything goes smooth this campaign. Uh, yeah, glad to have at least two of you from campaign one to join us again. So that's awesome.
woohoo!
Yeah. So until